The Parliamentary and Health Service Ombudsman, PHSO, has confirmed that any recommendations it makes to the Department for Work and Pensions, DWP, following the conclusion of its independent investigation into injustice caused by the maladministration of changes to the state pension age, will be applied to everyone who has been similarly affected by failings we identify. This includes remedy and could see around 3.6 million women born in the 1950s receive financial compensation after waiting 5 years for the outcome. The PHSO investigation began in 2018, but due to the complexity of the case, some 650 pieces of evidence had to be reviewed, and after a legal challenge funded by thousands of WASPI women, Women Against State Pension Inequality, into Stage 2, Injustice, findings, it agreed to look again at its decision, causing further delays. It has now shared an update on progress of the investigation on its website and explained the reasons for the delays to the publication of Stage 2 and Stage 3, remedy. The PHSO said, "We had intended to publish our final investigation report by the end of March 2023. Following a legal challenge, we agreed to look again at part of our Stage 2 findings. This has delayed the publication of our final report. We have now looked at our findings and have shared our provisional views about injustice resulting from the maladministration we identified during Stage 1, and are thinking about remedy, with complainants, their referring MPs and the DWP. They all have an opportunity to comment on our provisional views before we make any final decisions about these issues." Chief Executive Officer at the PHSO, Rebecca Hilsenrath, explained to the Public Administration and Constitutional Affairs Committee, PACAC, on November 14 that the provisional findings for Stage 2 and Stage 3 will be sent in confidence, mostly by post, to the parties involved, namely the UK government, around 500 women who made a complaint. The final report will be made public once the feedback has been received and the PHSO has made any necessary changes. Ms. Hilsenrath indicated that the deadline for responses is around Christmas and that the final report will be published in the new year. The statement on the PHSO website continues, "Our investigation has been complex, and it has taken a considerable amount of time. We appreciate the impact this will have had on the women affected. There have been many delays outside of our control. We have granted 5 extensions to allow involved parties additional time to consider our views and provide comments, and following the legal challenge, it was only right that we looked again at part of our Stage 2 report. We have carefully analyzed over 650 pieces of evidence over the course of our investigation to make sure any findings are robust and evidence-based." It added, "As an independent ombudsman, our duty is to provide the right outcome for all involved and make sure justice is achieved. The cooperative approach we have taken to looking again at injustice will provide the quickest route to remedy for those affected." Angela Madden, chair of the Women Against State Pension Inequality, WASPI, campaign, said, "We are sad to say that Snails could have conducted this investigation more quickly and efficiently than the watchdog has. The whole process has added insult to injury. Nonetheless, we cautiously welcome the announcement from the Ombudsman that he will report on his final conclusions, albeit in confidence to complainants, this week. We also welcome the CEO's clear acknowledgement of the impact DWP's mistakes had on WASPI women. We urge the PHSO to carefully consider feedback from those affected and to maintain their commitment of presenting final conclusions to Parliament as soon as possible in the new year." Stage 1 of the PHSO investigation found that between 1995 and 2004, DWP's communication of changes to state pension age reflected the standards it would expect it to meet. But in 2005, DWP failed to make a reasonable decision about targeting information to the women affected by these changes. That was maladministration. In 2006, DWP proposed writing to women individually to tell them about changes to state pension age, but it failed to act promptly. That was also maladministration. You can read the Stage 1 report on the PHSO website here. Get the latest record money news. Join the conversation on our Money Saving Scotland Facebook group for energy and money saving tips, the latest benefits news, consumer help and advice on coping with the cost of living crisis. Sign up to our Record Money newsletter and get the top stories sent to your inbox daily from Monday to Friday, including a special cost of living edition on a Thursday. Sign up here. You can also follow us on X, formerly Twitter, at @recordmoney_ for regular updates throughout the day. The PHSO has also shared background information into the investigation and frequently asked questions about the state pension age changes on its website. One question asks, does this mean that if somebody hasn't had a complaint accepted by you already, they won't benefit from any recommendations you might make? The PHSO said, no. If we make recommendations to the DWP, we will ask it to apply those recommendations to everyone who has been affected by any failings we identify. You can read all the questions and background information here. Join the Daily Records WhatsApp community here and get the latest news sent straight to your messages.